Hello everyone and welcome to part 9 of my Ultimate Python tutorial course. In this part we're going to look at for loops. So I've created a Python file called forloops.py and we're going to create a simple for loop. So for I in range between 1 and 20, we'll print out each number individually. So we'll do print I is now, I forgot the double quotes. Make sure it's inside double quotes. I is now, and then we're going to do the placeholder with the curly braces. Put 0 in it. At the last double quote, we're going to do format, and then we're going to put I. So basically, it's going to print out from 0 to 20. So not including 20, if you remember correctly, because it basically all like programming languages start from base of 0. So it's only going to print out up to 19. But if you count all of them, so we'll start from 1. So say this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So there's 19 from 1. But if you count this as 0, so you go 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So if you start from 0 and you go 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. If you count that on your hand, that is technically 5. So Python will only go up to the upper limit of the range minus 1. So in this case, 20 minus 1 is 19. We could do it a simpler way. So if you do up to 5 and print it, it'll only go up to 4 because it's going 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. 0 is 1. Then 1 is 1, 1 is 2, 3 is 3, 4 is 5. So it can get a little bit confusing, but you've just got to break it down in your head and sort of shift them one to the left, if that makes sense. So 1 is 0, 2 is 1, 3 is 3 would be 2, 4 would be 3, and then 5 would be 4. In this case, that's why it's only printing up to 4. Obviously, if you wanted to print it to 5, then you do 6 because it's always the upper limit minus 1. So we'll go back to 20 for that and leave it. Just have a go changing the numbers and try and understand it a little bit more if you don't. If you do, then that's great. We can get on with the next part. So I'm going to create a number variable, and inside this I'm going to have a string of numbers. So just put any numbers you like. So I'll do 4, 5, 6, 7, 6, 8, 5, 4, 5, 6, 2, 3, or 6, 5, 2, sorry, 7, 8, 7, and 1, 2, 3. So it's just quite random, but we've stored it in a variable as a string, so it's still not an integer. You've got to remember that. So we'll do for I in range, but then we can do 0 to 25. Now I'll tell you the reason for this in a second, but we need to print the number with I. So make sure you use the correct brackets for this. I'll zoom in a little bit so you can see them better. What this is essentially doing is basically looking at this string, and for every number between 0, so the starting point, which is just before the 9, it's going to print out each item inside this string. So it's going to print out 9, then it's going to print out the comma, print out the 5, print out the 4, print out the 6, and so on. So if I run this now, as you can see down here, it's printed out the 9, the comma, the 5, the 4, all in a row. Now, there's something I can show you. So if you do a comma at the end of the I inside the print, you can do end equals. And as you can see here, if we do, in fact, I'll add the commas now. So this end is essentially, it's overwriting the default end. So if I run this now, as you can see, it's in a row. It's in a row, not a column, because before it looked a bit strange because it was printing it out line by line. The default end is \n. So basically, this is the default, and that means new line. If you don't remember it from my previous videos, and we don't want that. So to overwrite it, you just do 2 single quotes with nothing inside, and then it will print it out into a line. There's also one other thing that you can do if you didn't want to count how many items or how many characters or digits, whatever, are in the actual string. So in this case, 1, so we'll count 9 as 1. So 1, 2, oh, didn't want to do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Hence why I've started from 0 and printed out 25. So it's going to print out every single number because we've started from 0. The same with this up here. If you start this from 0 to 20 and we print it, if you go up here, I is now 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, all the way up to 19. So it's always going to be 1 less than what it is. So in this case, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So that is why we've put 25, because we've actually catered for that starting at 0 instead of 1. It's always the upper limit. And if you want to print out all of them, in this case, it's going to be the upper limit plus 1. So if we do the upper limit minus 1, we're only going to print up to, if we scroll down, we're only going to print up to the 12, which is, or the last 2, and we're going to ignore the 3. So to cater for that 3, because we're starting at 0 before the 9, so 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. So to print out that last 3, we need to do 25. However, there is something else we can do. So we can do length and then number. So technically you don't have to count each one, which can, if you have a large, like triple the size of this string, then it can be frustrating. So you can just do length, or I tried to say length and len at the same time then. So len is basically length of the number, which is the length of this, hence why it's 25. So if I run this, it's going to print out every single number, even the 9, starting from 0. So just go through it a few times in your head. It can get confusing because you're not actually getting the full limit in, so you've always got to cater with the plus or minus 1. So like the top one here, just go through it one more time. So 0 to 20 will only print out up to 19 because we're still counting 0 as 0 in this case. So 0 up to 20. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're always 1 behind if you count on your fingers. So to cater for that, we just do 21 and run it. Now it's printing out 0 to 20. But obviously, most people don't start at 20, so we can just do 1 to 21, which will print out up to 20. I'm just going to comment these out now because there's not much point of actually using these ones, because it'll just get too confusing down here. So we'll just move that back. What else can we do? So for the last thing for this video, because it is a lot to understand, and this is sort of not really beginner stuff anymore. You have to sort of really grasp the number thing. So it's just all it is just practice. Just practice changing the ranges, finding out why it always starts at 0 and goes 0, 1, 2, 3. So 0 is 1, 2. Like I said, it always shifts 1 to the left. Try and picture that in your head. So have 2 rows of numbers. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then you have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Basically, this is what's happening. So if you want to print out 1 to 5 in like normal, then it's going to go 1 to 4 because 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. That many numbers is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So hopefully that helps. So do stuff like that, and you will understand it easier. Next, let's look at actually changing this because it's still a string. It's not an integer. So if you wanted to print this out in a new variable that is an integer, so then therefore you can actually do arithmetic to it, we need to do a few things. So I'm going to copy this variable here and paste it underneath. Then I'm going to create a new variable called cnumbers. So cnumber is basically the number cleaned. which I'll explain in a second. So, oh well, basically it's just removing the commas. So it's just a full line of an integer, just all integers, no strings, no commas. So I call it cleaned, but you can call it whatever you like. So for I in range, and then we're going to do length of number again. So the length of the number, which is this in this case. Let's add the semicolon at the end, and then if the number, so if whatever's on the left, so let me just type it out and then I'll explain it, because it's kind of difficult to explain while typing it out. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this is testing a condition. So if there's numbers, so for if there's 9 is inside this, then it's true, if that makes sense. So in that case, 9 is in this string up here, and it's inside this because it's here. So that makes it true. If there's 6, 6 is here, it's also here, and so on. Because it's here, it's going to say if number I, so which it is, 6 is inside this number, then it's going to be true. But obviously 9 is inside of it, so it's going to say it's true straight away. Then we can do C number is equal to C number. Then we're going to add the number I. So we're basically just adding each number that is inside here into this, if that makes sense. Number, in fact, we'll have to create new variables, so we'll call this new number is equal to int. So now we're converting it to an integer with C number. So we're adding C number, which is removing all of the commas, because there's no commas inside for this, so it's not fetching them in a sense. But because, like I said, 9 is inside of it, it's going to get 9. Then it's going to check 5. 5 is inside, so it's going to get that 5 and place it inside here in order of the way it's placed inside here. So the last thing we can do is now print. Let's see, print. Make sure it's a string. The number is. Then we're going to have the placeholder with the curly braces again, 0. Add a space and then do format. And the new number. Make sure you don't put C number, make sure you put new number, because we're assigning C number as an integer to new number. Then we can run this. In fact, let me comment this one out because it's redundant now. Let's print it. And in fact, I forgot to mention something. Up here, as you can see, the end, we don't need that now because we've converted it to an integer, and Python will always put an integer into a line, as you can see here. So end is not required anymore. Just thought it was useful just in case you see that in some code and you don't know what it's doing. And this is the output, and that is exactly what we wanted. So it's just removing all of the commas, it's converting it to an integer, and now we can actually use this variable to do arithmetic with, because obviously you can't use arithmetic with a string because it won't know whether to add the string or concatenate it, if that makes sense. So that is it. If you don't understand it, please leave a comment, I'll be happy to help. But essentially I'll just recap one last time. So just as a quick recap, we've created number variable. It's got a string inside of it with numbers. We've created C number, which is blank. So for I in range of 0 to the length of number, so for every item inside this string, it's going to check. So it's going to do number I, so it's going to get the first item in the list. If it's inside this condition here, which at 9 is, in fact every single number is, but you may have it different. So 9 is inside of it, so that makes it true. So then basically it's just going to get this new variable and add 9 to it. So 9 will go in the list. Then it's going to check the next item in the list, which is the comma. If the number, the comma in this case, is inside this condition, which it's not going to add it to this variable. However, it will add 5 because 5 is inside here. It'll add 5 to the end, so then it'll print out 9, 5. Hopefully it does sort of make sense to you. I'm sorry if I didn't explain it very well, but it is sort of difficult to explain the for loops very clearly. You have to sort of just learn it yourself. However, if this video did help, please leave a like, a comment. I'll be happy to help. Subscribe for the latest videos, and I will see you in the next video.